Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I grew up in Mississippi. In Mississippi, they taught us to be respectful and have good manners. And so we were taught that when we passed by people, we would always speak. Hello, how are you? Good evening. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. Now, that's when we were passing people on the street or wherever. If we were walking down the street and somebody was at their house on the porch, some people call it a Gary. But if you were there, we were taught to wave and say, hello, how you doing? And so we went through our lifetime being courteous and kind like that. When I moved to Chicago around the age of 20, I took my practices from Mississippi with me. So I would pass by people on the street. You know, Chicago's big. It's a whole lot bigger than the small town you'd have been in Mississippi that I grew up in. And so I would find myself walking by so many people, it was absolutely pathetic. Now, you know you couldn't speak to all the people. But when you passed by somebody that was close to you on either side, you would say, hello, how are you? Hi, hello, hello. You would just say that as courtesy. People know you were kind. But you do that a couple of times in Chicago. And Chicago will ask you, what are you speaking to me for? I don't know you. Or they think you might be trying to rob them. So after maybe a month or so, you quit speaking and being courteous to people because they're not used to it. And that's what I find when I talk to people about a new system of government. Now, you all know what the system of government is like that you live in, whether you are super rich or super poor, whether you're super white or super black. You all know the system. So I come to America, grow up, and I introduce to America a different system. A system that produces peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of your dreams. I talk to you about every individual or family having food, clothing, and shelter as they desired or wanted. Unlimited, unrestricted education unlimited and unrestricted health education and health care from the womb to the tomb. And I would show you how this would be provided for by saying that all resources of the earth belong to God, the Creator. And I would say that everyone that would benefit from those creations are people. And I would also say that people have the ability, because everyone got a career objective instilled in them. Just like you got a heart, just like you got a mind, just like you got a finger, you got a career objective within your body. And that is your service to the human race. You come with that service to human race using the resources that America that God has given, and all of your needs would be met, and it would produce peace, prosperity, freedom, joy of life, and the fulfillment of your dreams. No food missing, no clothing, education, health care, or anything missing, because God and you work together. God gave you the resources, all of the outstanding resources out there, and what you need inside of yourself. He gave it all to you for you to live as though you're living in heaven. But when I articulate that to people, they look at me the same way they look at me when I walk by in a big city using my Mississippi courtesy and kindness and hello, and you must be crazy. So if you're talking about a system whereby these things that I just mentioned can happen, people look at me just like, are you just as crazy as a joker trying to speak to everybody in the state? Well, it was nice to speak to people. And it's nice if people could wake up and have their dreams come true. But I guess it's in small places that happens. Small places that you can speak to, small places where you can experience heaven. Because outside of that, all they know is not God's way, but man's way. And man's way is selfish, it's brutal, it's damaging, it's hard, it kills. Think about that.